Okay, so Cypress Hill.
Yeah, so Cypress Hill, first of all, big up to Cypress Hill. Like I said, I've known them from over 20 years, and they're not just, colleagues in the game with me. They're friends. And that's like really rare in the game to have like really, artists to support each other in this day and age. But in the 90s, that's what we did. And when I first seen them on the High Times cover, I was like, shit. Because in New York, we had, Cambodia weed. We had the chocolate. We was known for the chocolate over here, and skunk, with slight green. But when I seen that green shit they had on the High Times cover, I said, nah, there's another world that I'm not tapping into. There's something else going on that, because I haven't been to Cali yet. I'm just still bubbling on the East Coast. I haven't even been to Cali. And I seen that shit, and they had the ski hats on with the weed plant on the ski hat. Muggs had the ski hat with the weed plant on it, and they was just in there looking all smoke like hippies, but rapping, and with that green ass bud. I was like, yo, there's another fucking world that I ain't tapping into. These motherfuckers got it down pat. Let me tune into these motherfuckers. And the next thing you know, I seen Be Real, and I end up, using a piece of his lyric for Time for Some Action. And it was actually not a little beef between us, but between the labels, because they saying, well, we just came out with Cypress Hill album maybe a year ago, and now you want to use it. They didn't understand, but we got the clearance to use the Time for Some Action anyway, and that was like my first single off that started my career. And I always tell Be Real to this day, like, Cypress Hill had a major played a major part in my career as far as their music. And if you notice, I used the La 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 for Rockwalla, which was our biggest record with Red and Meth. So still again, I used Cypress Hill. And like I said, when I seen him on the cover, I just knew it was a world I wanted to tap into. That's why my music, as far as me talking about marijuana, got more aggressive.
Now, I remember you were on the cover of, I think, the Source magazine.
I was on High Times, the second cover, too. I was the second dude after Cypress Hill on High Times with Bud. So I made it official, too. Like, I was the second dude ever. Cypress Hill was the first rappers ever to hit High Time. I was the second, so go ahead. So I had to let y'all know that.
Well, I remember you were on the cover of, I think it was Source magazine, and you had like tissue in your nose?
Yes, sir. That was me.
And what was the meaning behind that?
Well, I had the tissue in my nose since the first album. I had the tissue in my nose since I was like 16. I got bad sinus problems. I have very bad sinus problems. And back in them days, it wasn't really no cure for that. It wasn't nothing that you can do, like, compared to nowadays. Like, my kids got allergies. They could go get a shot. Like, I go get shots now. So now I'm breathing, and I don't need the tissue like I used to. But back in those days, we didn't have no shots. We didn't have any of the, the new medical, situations they have for allergies now. So I had to deal with the tissue. My nose was always clogged. I always sound nasally. So the tissue kind of helped me not to breathe out of one nostril and to breathe out of this nostril without this nostril running too much. And when this nostril ran, the tissue caught it, and it was a fucking pain in the balls, put it that way.
Okay. When you decided to actually show that on the cover.
Yeah, it was me. I just didn't believe. I believe when I came out, one thing I did believe back then, and I still believe to this day, and I would, advise all new artists that's coming out, is just to be who the fuck you are. If you fucking sleep with tissue in your nose, you let motherfuckers know. I sleep with tissue in my nose. You like to watch porno, you let them know. Hey, I like to watch porno. Don't be something you're not, because you'll definitely get, you get checked later on who you are. And then when they find out it's not who you started with, it's like a whole big mess. So the tissue in my nose just resembled, not just to say I was a nasty motherfucker, just to let you know that I was free and let y'all know who I am. I'm a dope ass rapper, but I got sinus problem. So I stick a tissue in my nose. Whether you like it or not, I'm gonna rock. And that was really the message I was just trying to bring across, you know?
No doubt. So you're fucking with EPMD.
Yes.
And at this point, you know, it's the hit squad, right?
Yeah.
It's EPMD, it's Redman,
Nuts.
it's K-Solo,
Nuts.
it's Das Effects,
Nuts.
it's Keith Murray.
Keith Murray
It's,
wasn't there yet. Keith Murray wasn't there.
Okay, Keith Murray wasn't
Keith
there.
Murray
Okay,
came later on after the breakup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else that I'm forgetting in the hit squad?
Red, K-Solo, Das Effects. Even with Das Effects, like Das Effects was the next group to come on, and EPMD met them at a show in Virginia. And I just remember them calling E-House all the time, like, yo, they listen to our demo, Red. Yo, Red, they gonna put us on? I was like, yo, I'ma find out. And next thing you know, they came up like I did, and it was history. But Das Effects, Redman, K-Solo, EPMD, Craig Mack was with us. He lived in Long Island, but he wasn't on. He was just running with us. He was on tour with us a lot. And my boy Tom J and his boy, it was, I forgot, the Knuckleheads. The Knuckleheads.
Okay.
Hit squad, yeah. The tours was crazy, like I said, like, you know, we tour babies. Like, I'm a hip hop baby, so at that age, carrying bags and rocking on stage, it was amazing.
Well, it seemed like when Das Effects came out, it was like the next shit. It seemed like everyone wanted to rap like Das Effects at that point. Remember, it was just one of those things where it's like, it was like the next level in hip hop.
Yeah. They set a trend. That's why they was like, you know, they was like all of us, we were very valuable assets to the Hit Squad brand. And they definitely helped carry that Hit Squad brand. Even to this day, man, they still rock, man. Them my dudes, Das Effects. But at that time, man, that style, it was just so crazy how they flipped it with punchlines back to back to back to back, till people just started, you know, putting a little stickety wiggity in they. Same way with Tretch. Same way with Tretch. When Tretch came out, everybody was rocking like Tretch. Everybody started rocking like Tretch. So, you know, you got trendsetters out there. Some styles was, you know, was more of a style that people caught on to, like, wow. And some people just rock. It was more lyrical content kind of stuff. Yeah, they definitely killed the mode. They definitely set trends, Das Effects. Those little cocky bastards. They were so cocky too. I love them, my dudes. When they was part of, I think Parrish Smith signed them under Parrish Smith brand. It wasn't like an EPMD Hit Squad where they signed them under. It was more under Parrish Smith, and they ran with the Hit Squad.
Yep.
But when they blew up, they was like, man, they went platinum. Like, who was going platinum from the East Coast? Like, Das Effects was platinum, like NWA in 91. In 91. That's unheard of. Oh my God. Superstars, yo.
What do you think about the whole situation?
Man, my point of view, man, I really feel like they tried to paint a bad picture on my brother and tried to make him look like he was a hater. It was some envy, jealousy type shit, you know what I'm saying? And actuality, you know what I'm saying? Bro been having this shit, man. He been in the condo.
I got my hat on and I had my Coke bottles up under my hat. And I'm sitting at the dinner table like an asshole with the hat on, knowing she gonna tell me to take it off. And I'm just sitting there just gulping down, you know, in my zone. She said, take that goddamn hat off at the dinner table. I'm like, come on, Mom. Coke everywhere.